to another episode of the Let's Get Kraken podcast. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. I always do. It means a lot to me. If you are a new viewer, hi, I'm Eden. I'm the owner of Crockenmade, where I sell watercolor progress keepers, hand-dyed yarn, and my own pattern designs and other handmade treasures. You can find me on Instagram as Crafting Crackenmade. You can also find me and my patterns on Lovecrafts and Payhip. So, lots of work in progresses to show. I don't have any finished objects. Got my coffee with me today. Found this at the thrift store. Actually, this is a Pioneer Woman mug. It's so pretty. I have her dishes, so I was really happy to find a matching mug. I just have coffee today, and if you see me looking to my side, it is because my computer is connected to my phone this time, so that I can use my back camera to have some quality video. So if I look to the side, I'm just either checking on it or it distracts me, and I keep thinking I need to make eye contact with myself. I'm gonna do my best to just look at you. And second thing, I'm sorry if my words are a little weird. I am recovering from getting my wisdom teeth removed. Everything is going fine back there. It's just my lip has been quite numb. Just this side. The nerves are healing from the surgery. Sorry, excuse me. So, talking is a little bit difficult. And also, just being aware of my mouth movements has been quite odd. So, yeah. It's gonna be a little weird. But if that's the reason, if that happens, if that's the reason why I'm either slowing down or trying really hard to pronunciate my words, it's because of my lip. Okay. I don't know why I did that. I am excited to sit down with you guys. We are sitting in front of my bookcase today down here. Knitting books. This is where I keep my needles, and this is my bag of cords. So, nice. I did it again. Inhale. I do have a lot of words to say. It's gonna be a weird one. I'm gonna sip my coffee before we begin. We'll start with the project that I totally forgot to talk about. So no finished objects. We're gonna just go straight into whips. I forgot to talk about my Advent shawl. That was started as a shawl and then kind of went to a blanket, and then it's gonna be a shawl again. But it's in this Christmas bag that this, I believe some gifts came in this one year. It wasn't this year, but it's like a sack that you can tie up with these strings. And I thought it was the perfect size for a blanket because it's huge. And in here I have my granny triangles that I used with my advent calendar. And if you don't know, in December I did an advent calendar swap with Amy Kate of the Graceful Tangle. My brain came to a halt. So fingering weight scraps. I took aside 20 grams of whatever fingering weight scraps I had throughout the year, and then put them together with a full skein of yarn for an advent calendar to give to her, and she did the same thing for me. And that was our second year doing this. We'll be doing it again this year. It was really fun. So I took the advent calendar and I held it with a Surrey alpaca lace weight. And these are the first 12 days. I really love this. It's so cozy. I don't know if you can see the full thing. I'm trying to see through it into the computer screen. I think it's okay. It's really fuzzy. And then this is days 13 to 24. Oh, I love it. Originally, I was just going to do one. Then I realized that it was going to be super deep because it's kind of the same, that's how a triangle works. It's the same length all the way around. So if this edge is going to be super long to reach around, this is going to dip down all the way to like my thighs. It was going to be so big. It's actually it's a good size right now, but these are too short and they would just fall off. But it's really cozy. So I decided to take the next 12 and make another one, thinking that I would just make a square. And it could work, per se. It would just be a very small lap blanket. No point in showing you, I don't have that many arms. But then my mom had the idea to connect them so that it would make a longer rectangle, I suppose. I'll show it off when it's actually sewn together. But I finished both triangles by Christmas Eve, so that was awesome. And then I just put it to the side and it sat in the bag for a while because I got distracted with new projects, which happens. Everybody does that, no shame there. I will be sure to have this sewn together and be a finished object next time. And I crocheted this with a size 4mm crochet hook. 4mm crochet hook. This is just your general, I think it's a Susan Bates. Sorry for the stomping upstairs. And then I covered it with polymer clay. Just for fun. Make it more comfortable in the hand. I'll show you the Surrey. I don't know what my brothers are doing up there, but it's a project of some kind. I held it with this. It's my own hand-dyed Surrey alpaca in a nice silvery color. I will be dyeing up more of this for sure to put into the shop. So next up, I'm going to show you my blankets. This blanket pattern is the My Favorite Blanket by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. She is doing this, I guess you call it a mystery knit along. I had difficulty explaining this last time. But it's a blanket where each section of the pattern is released every month, and there'll be 12 sections. So, the first two, this is the first blanket of the pattern that I've been doing. The first two sections is just some lovely garter. It's really easy to do. You just increase at the end of every row till you reach a certain stitch count. And you hold fingering double. She has it where you could use one full 100-gram skein, just hold it double, or you could hold two 50-gram skeins together. And I decided for this blanket, I'm going to use up my 50-gram sets. Mainly because my feet are way too big to use 50-gram skeins for socks. So I didn't really know what I was going to do with them. And this is perfect. It's also turning out that I'm using mainly warm colors with this one. So that gave me the idea for the second one. I have right here. I finished the first section. I'm using some cool colors. In the first color here, I held a 100-gram skein double. This is Knit Picks Hawthorne in the color Vancouver. It's a very old colorway. I don't think they have it anymore. For the next section, you can kind of see right there, I just attached it. I'm using these leftovers from some projects. This is just a tweed from Tofino Knit Co. I don't think it had a name. came out of a sock set kit for the Cider House socks, which she might still have. And then this is A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes. This is the Cinderella colorway from Dragon Hoard Yarn. I loved it. I used it to knit a hat for my aunt. So I'm holding those together because, whoop, there they go. I'm holding them together because they're not full 100 grams. But they're too much to have as minis. There's a lot of leftovers. So I thought it'd be perfect to do the next section, which is just more garter. I am knitting these on size 4.5 millimeter needles. US. It's not on this needle. This one. US 7. And that's on both of these. So I have a bunch of, this is my bag of 50 gram 50 gram skeins that I'm going to use up for the first part of this blanket. Once I run out of 50s, I'll just start using some 100 gram skeins to finish it off. And this is my bag of 100 gram skeins that I've picked out to just grab whatever, or some really big scrap skeins just gone into this bag to be for the blanket. I'm just picking them at random, and I'm really enjoying this project. It is really easy so far with garter. I'm sure it's going to be beautiful. I believe the section 3 comes out next week, which is exciting. It's supposed to be something more than garter this time. Which, garter isn't bad. I love garter. I really enjoyed it. I would happily cast on a third blanket, but I think that'd be pushing it. It's just a project that I am working on for the enjoyment of knitting it, and I will probably just put them aside for gifts at the end of the year for somebody who needs it. It's like a prayer shawl, but these are like prayer blankets that I'm just, to whoever they go to, I hope they bring comfort and peace to whoever get them. So it's a way for me to work through my stash. Computer's gonna go out. To work through my stash and also have some fun with something. And it's kind of fun to think like, oh, who's gonna get this? I have no idea. That's a nice thing about gift knits and gift crochets too. Okay, so from blankets we're gonna move on to socks. Just kind of keeping my projects in sections, which actually is funny. I think I have 2 of each thing that I'm showing. So next up is socks. And I didn't show this project last time because I was thinking I was just going to pull it out. I don't know why I did that. I hope I don't do that often. I'm so sorry. This is the Crunckle Sock, again by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. It's probably my new favorite designer patterns lately. Yeah, the Crunckle Sock, super easy, a really cool texture that works with the crazy yarn like this or some simple yarn. If you've been watching the podcast, I finished a pair of these and gave them to my hairdresser as a gift. And I decided I wanted to knit a pair for myself. I'm knitting it in a very old colorway from a homespun house. I am pretty sure this is a Christmas colorway from like 2019, possibly 2018. I think it's like swirly twirly gumdrops, so an elf reference. But it's really cute. Either that or this is a Valentine's Day colorway. I have this that I know one of them is swirly twirly gumdrops and one of them is a Valentine's Day themed. I can't remember which is which, but I know they're from a homespun house. They're from a very long time ago. I wish I would have just powered through so that I could have these to wear on Valentine's Day. That's okay. It happens. I decided that I'm just going to knit through it. And I'm just going to start the heel flap, which I have this random scrap. Believe me, my mom dyed this for something. I think it was in a sock set. But this is just the last of whatever that was. I should have better memory of what my would have died in my life, but there's so much now that my brain kind of muddles them together. I'm just knitting these magic loop on 2.25mm needles, US. I'm sure it's on here, but I don't want to read the cord. Let's see what's this one. Probably on the needle on this guy. I should remember this by now. I've said it so many times. US 1. US 1. And these are my Hayahayas, which I love and hate. Because I love... Well, I didn't say that. Sorry. I felt a cough come on and that said that really loudly. We're just rolling with the weirdness today. I love the needles on these. I don't like the cords. I've tried so many times to straighten these out in different methods, but they keep doing this. So, it is what it is. And then this one, this is my other sock. It's just a plain vanilla sock in an opal that I carry in the shop. I really wanted some just plain vanilla socks, so I grabbed a skein of opal. Again, I'm knitting these on size 2.25mm needles, US 1. These are my Chia Goos, which I love. And this is from the Memory series. I think it's in German, but I translated it, and I believe it is A Boy's Best Friend. It's really cute. I love, there's the example. Isn't it so nice that it'll just auto zoom in for me now? This is kind of the example sock. It's a very subtle stripe. And the ball is kind of mangled because I've been using this as like my bag knitting when I go out, as you can see. Super mangled. But I have this in the shop right now. If it's something you'd like. I think I'm going to throw a sale on my opal. I think it's time. So maybe by the time this is up, I'll do an announcement on Instagram when... You know what? Nah. As soon as you see this, opal is on sale right now. If you need a skein of opal, go right ahead. Go right ahead. I approve you purchasing from me. I'm sorry. I totally threw my brain off track. This is opal. Boy's Best Friend. I have this in the shop along with many other colorways. Just some hardy vanilla socks. Opal is not the softest sock yarn in the world. I always forget that until I knit it. But it is so hardy and will survive going through the washer and dryer. Because I've experienced that. It's just going to be a plain vanilla sock for me. Alright. Sip of coffee. If you're dog barking, that is Luna, our Malamute Husky cross. And she is very upset that people have left the house without her. She's very sweet. She's just learning. She's just a puppy. She's 5 months old now. Okay. So the next two projects and the last two projects are sweaters that I have been working on. So this one, I have split for sleeves. Look at that. Oh, I love this so much. This is my Winter Woods. I totally drew a blank. By the Petite Knitter. Different than Petite Knits. I say that every time. It is a gorgeous pattern. I really enjoyed doing this. Oh, it's so squishy. Okay, yarns. The black is Sweet Georgia. There's skein here. And the color Cauldron. And this is on their superwash worsted. The gray is actually a mix of two because I ran out. It is a DK tweed from Ginger Snap. I think it was called like Silver Lining, something like that. I can go closer to you, look at that. And then I had to switch over, you can just barely see it. It's actually really close. Where is... I had the ball somewhere around here. Where'd he go? Oh, haha. There it is. Went from the Ginger Snap DK tweed to a Dragon Horde yarn DK tweed. This one didn't have a name, but I'm sure it does in her shop. I'll show you the full picture of the pattern. Right there, so Winter Woods by the Petite Knitter. So pretty. Now I'm knitting this with Jamie and Katie and my mom of the Cozy Up Sisters, my mom. It's been really fun to have this little knit along. Oh yeah, and the yellow. There's 3 colors in here. I'm trying to hold it. If I can't use both hands. Okay, we're just going to fold it this way. The yellow is Vega from Over the Moon Yarn on their Asteroid Aran base. So, I'm on to just knitting the body, which, I'll be honest, it's not my favorite part. I love doing the yokes of sweaters, and then I reach the body, I'm like, oh, just knitting. Which is nice. When you want to like watch a movie, you just sit down and you just knit. It works great. But I prefer just the yoke sweater. If I could just knit yokes for people and then they could take it from there, that'd be pretty good. I'd be down with that. I just gotta work through. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm knitting the size 3 using needles called for in that pattern. And the last sweater, which is like the pièce de résistance. These are all great projects. I love them all. But this one is the one I'm most excited about because it's my own sweater design. Ah! I finished the body. Wait, look, I even started a sleeve. So, I've been calling it the interlock sweater. I'm not sure if I truly like that name. I'm just letting it mull. I'm also thinking of the entwined sweater. Maybe. If you have any ideas, do let me know. So it's got a cable, a little bit of color work on there. It's the same cable and color work idea from my I Do sock pattern that I designed a couple of years ago now. And then cable right on the shoulder there. It's a nice boxy sweater. It is knit entirely flat and then I seamed it up, which I'm really proud of. Look, I seamed something. It is a split hem. And it's just going to be a big, cozy, boxy sweater that has like no shape or form, which I love in sweaters, honestly. Well, it's a square. It's a box. It's amazing. I am knitting this with my own hand-dyed yarn. The brown is chocolate. It's kind of like the lights is making it a little... Oh, there we go. It's alright. The brown is chocolate. And then the pink is Little Cuddlefish on my Whirlpool DK base. there's chocolate. And here is little cuttlefish. They're a little bit richer than the camera is giving me. It's a little gray, but that's alright. It's just the lighting. So yeah, this is my own pattern design. I am working really hard to finish this so I can write it up and I can get it tested and released. Hopefully, definitely this spring, definitely in the spring, it'll be out. I am knitting this. Oh goodness, I gotta stop doing that. I'm knitting this with size 4.5 millimeter needles right now. Just started the sleeve, which took me a few tries to try and get it clean. See if I can try and get like that nice clean edge. I'm picking up on the cable to be tidy. The progress keepers that I got on here. I don't know where the lava bead came from. It was a gift from somebody at some point. I just found it. Maybe I made that. Maybe. I don't know. It's a lava bead, and then this one is Dragon Horde yarn. It's a little cookie, little sugar cookie. I got lots of progress keepers on it right now. Got like a bunch of my own over here. Got a cake. This was like my very first progress keeper ever when I started. And then I got a little frog from our movie club. This was for, what was it called? Not Hocus Pocus. It's the other one. I can't remember right now. Anyway, it's a little frog. You'll be yelling at me at the screen if you remember. Anyway, and then that one is a Simply Serving. It's a little figgy pudding. Very cute. So, this is the one I've been putting so much work into. I hope it's done the next episode. I'm really excited and kind of nervous. But I also wanted to say, I gained the confidence to knit this sweater from, I'm just going to knit this while I say this, from taking a course with Megan Nodecker of Pip and Pin. It is the Idea to Pattern workshop that she hosts, and I have volunteered to be an affiliate of it this year. Well, what's it called, this term that is coming up. So, starting March 13th, yes, I should have written this down, but I do remember. March 13th, she's doing another run of the course, I guess is the best way to put it. This course is amazing. She takes you through all the steps, taking it from sketching, swatching, doing the math, and adjusting to, as you go, to a fully published pattern. Every step. It is an 8-week course. Each week contains a certain lesson with a video with Megan and PDFs to help you along with your work. There's plenty of links to words are escaping me. Links to other, what's the word? I was trying to do this so professionally and then my brain halted. Content, I guess, is the best way to put it. She links you to the stuff you need, and at the end of it, she'll do a Q&A live with you to talk about what you've learned and what you've created. And along the way, there's a public board where all the students can chat and ask questions, and Megan will help you as much as she can. She is so knowledgeable. She's been a designer for almost over 10 years and is happy to help with anything. So, that being said, the course enrollment starts March 6th and goes to the 10th. Right now, she is having a giveaway where you can enter to win that course, which is a huge value. So you can hop over, I'll leave a link down in the description, hop on over to sign up for a newsletter, sign up to be drawn, I guess, for the draw to see if you can win the course. That'd be awesome. And maybe become an aspiring designer if you want to do that. Or if you really just want to gain better skills with knitting itself, I would say, would help you a lot. I designed a sweater. That is crazy. I'd never thought I'd do that, but thanks to taking this workshop, I did. So I will leave a link down below, and when enrollments start, you can use my code AF10, stands for affiliate, AF10 for 10% off that course, which is awesome. So yeah, wanted to throw that in there. If you're interested in learning how to be a knitwear designer. Oops. There we go. Okay, that is all that I've been working on. I have been working so much on knitting. I don't know, I can't stop. And my coffee's cold, because that's what happens. But I have water here, so that I can keep talking. I think that's all I have to talk about, actually. Now that we're here, thank you so much for joining me. Oh, right. So work on my new podcast space has begun. It has. I've been working on my new chair a lot. I've been filming it along the way. That video of me making my podcast chair will be out next week. Fingers crossed, because the chair isn't done yet. But I'm going to keep working really hard on it, and hopefully it'll be done next week. And hopefully by next podcast, the space will be ready, and I will have a permanent space to podcast, which is awesome. So awesome. I'm so excited. It's going to be kind of piratey themed, of course, because I'm Kraken made. And yeah, that is kind of the main life thing that I wanted to touch on, is that next episode should be the space that I podcast in for a while. Hopefully. Crossed. But that will also be bringing out other content, because I really want to do a podcast, and then the next week I do something a little different, a little lifey, or a different type of project I want to get into. I have some sewing ideas, which would be interesting. Yeah, that's something I just wanted to touch on. Life stuff. Life is life. I got my wisdom teeth removed, all of them. That was an interesting experience. I've never had surgery before, so that was my first go, and I was terrified, but everybody was super nice and helped me through it. Healing has been interesting. Because I couldn't eat solid food for quite a while, and I love solid foods apparently. I didn't realize how much I did until you can't. But slowly I'm getting back to eating more solid foods, and I'm healing well. I just slowly am regaining my nerves in my lip. That's the only thing that's been taking a while. So yeah, that has been life. I'm just going to continue knitting my butt off, and yeah, I'll get back to yarn dyeing pretty soon. My main business thing lately has been this sweater, because I really want to design more again, and that has been my main design idea. So yeah, that's life. I don't lead a very interesting life. I really don't. But it's full of yarn and fun. Just how I like it. Simple. So yeah. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed the podcast and you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate, and it kind of gives me a confidence boost when you do. And you can click the bell for notifications, comment down below, introduce yourself, let me know who you are, where you're from, what are you working on. I really enjoy reading those comments, and I try to reply to as many as possible. If I missed you, that was an accident. I will go back and make sure that I catch up to everybody from the last podcast episode. Okay. So, thanks for joining me. I will see you next time. Bye.